Hello, this is Kev, and as always, at the beginning of each one of these videos, I ask you to please subscribe, whatever. But that's not really important here. The important is focusing on the information that I'm about to give you. As we all know, yesterday Amber Guyger was officially indicted with murder over the shooting of Botham Shimjan um, in his apartment complex, the Southside Flats in Dallas, Texas. This case, really, honestly, you have cut and dry versus the law and all of its minions, so to speak, trying to make everything complicated. Um, and I'm very weary of this situation until she is actually convicted of murder. Um, in my other videos, I advocated for her to be charged with murder because I thought it was the right thing to do. There are very many facts that were not visited by the media on Botham Shimjan. Uh, for one, there were witnesses that say they heard a woman banging on his apartment door saying, let me in, right before the shooting. Number two, um, Botham Shimjan had a red mat in front of his apartment door to distinguish his apartment from others. So how can you not notice something like that? You walk up to someone's apartment and say, "Who put this red mat in front of my door?" Uh, her story does conflict with the story of the witnesses, um, because she said the door was ajar, so she went in and she saw a silhouetted figure. Um, my question is, how much eye training do cops actually do nowadays? Do they just let motherfuckers be cops without the proper training? Um, Amber Guyger, another fact is Amber Guyger, let me screen share why, just let y'all look at this photo gallery. Yeah, that's Botham Shimjan right there. That's Amber Guyger, the murderer. What I was about to say was, I think I was about to make this point about eye training. Oh yeah. She had they say they did a toxicology report on her, and that report has yet to be released. Now, the fact is that's Attorney Faith Johnson. I'll get to her in a second. I'm gonna make a point about this photo too. Yes, that's the bitch herself, Amber Guyger. Yeah, she looked like she might be on some kind of drugs, or by the time that mugshot was taken, she was losing sleep. Because she, I guess that's that alligator tear face that she has. Because if you check out one of my other videos, her Tinder was quite revealing, and it was like, if you looked at her Tinder, um, you would think that, yeah, she's just looking for someone to shoot because she's a cop. So okay, one thing I wanted to say about this picture right here was the fact that as soon as it happened, this picture was sprawled all over the media and social media. Here's what they do. Every time they do something to us, they go find a picture like this to throw in front of us because we know some of us, slow tip, um, overly compensating so called pro blacks are going to look at this and say, well, he went to the enemy. He deserved it. Like, I don't know. It's just that there's just this. Y'all put a red X on any black man that is seen with a white woman. And in this case, he is a victim of blatant murder by a police officer. And yet another unarmed black man sitting in his apartment. Um, One thing that I couldn't stand is, okay, Faith Johnson, you know, you're trying to explain that it was a process and we did a thorough investigation. and we knew it was murder, and then tried to throw the Texas Rangers under the bus, saying that it was manslaughter. But why can't somebody like Faith Johnson explain on the day of Botham Jean's funeral there was several search warrants issued for his apartment where y'all say he found weed. I mean, where the police found weed, rather, weed in the ground, and tried to put that at the top of the list, marijuana. So being in possession, even if they planted it there or not, what makes you think that marijuana is supposed to be a death sentence, justifying killing someone in their own apartment? Because Amber Guyger has no fucking eye training. Like how, like um, GOP district attorney Faith Johnson, right there. She was beaten this past election by John Kriss. John Kriss is advocating for the murder charge of black man. Yep, there she is again. Well, let's look at this picture for a second. I'm going to show you a video of Allison John, Botham John's mother. Uh, yeah, both. She's from St. Lucia. You can hear it in her accent. And, let's hear what she has to say. His black mom. Let me find it real quick. Let's see. Uh, yeah, there she is. Let's watch this video real quick. Just listen to his mother.
Indeed satisfied with the indictment for murder of Amber Guyger, because I truly believe that she inflicted tremendous evil on my son. He didn't deserve it.
Correct.
He was seated
He didn't
in
deserve
his
it.
apartment. He felt safe in that apartment, and he was violated by her coming in and murdering him. So from the very start, I knew that she murdered him, and I was not satisfied at the manslaughter charge. I look forward to the next step, which is a conviction of murder of Amber Guyger, and more so of a penalty, the proper penalty that will cause her to reflect on what she has done and the pain that she has caused, not only my son, but my family, my church, my country.
Everyone has been touched. So many folks has been touched by this incident. So we really
There's his father.
are just not happy, but we take consolation. We take comfort at this time with this result. We go back to our homeland with much grief.
Okay. Let me full screen out of that. Yeah. All right. And this is John Kriss right here. Oh, sorry. That's John Kriss. That's John Kriss right there. That's who's replacing Faith Johnson. Now let me tell you. Let me read this to you now of a statement that Faith Johnson made. And how it's similar to a statement that Amber Guyger's lawyers made. But let me show you Amber Guyger's lawyers first. Let's see. Now that's a statement right there. Just bear with me for a second. Just trying to navigate, trying to keep my stuff together. I'm gonna show you a video. These are Amber Guyger's lawyers. I'm not gonna show you both of them because they're both white men that are trying to play apologists for what she did. It's like, okay, we understand that, we're sorry your son is dead and your family, but blah blah blah. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, here we go.
It was a horrible
confluence of events that occurred out there. Amber Guyger believed she was in her apartment and reacted in that way. It's a horrible tragedy. An innocent man lost his life, and her life's been forever changed. But it was not an intentional murder where she was going in wanting to kill him. She was acting, and from her point of view, in her own apartment and under the wall, she reacted in a way to protect herself. All the floors look the exact same in that apartment complex. In fact, I believe the investigation shows that
excuses.
She had not lived in the complex long, just coming off a 13-hour shift, obviously very tiring, stressful job. And then when the door opened, she felt that someone was in that apartment. Well, I think it's how anyone reacts. This isn't the type of police officer shooting we see in the news often. This is a citizen who happens to be a police officer who believes.
Okay, that's just fucking dumb. I'm gonna stop playing this. Like, this outpouring of excuses. Like, that shit is enraging. All right. Yes, let's look at that face again. He was an accountant for one of the top 4 accounting firms in the country. Very bright young man and a motivational speaker. But the thing is, I mean, he's still a black man. He's still a black man. Yeah, Amber Guyger again. This is the attorney for the family of Botham Jean, Wesley Merrick, who is also consistently advocated for a charge of murder. Right here, and good all the luck to him in winning his case. You know, he has my full support. Yeah, okay, all right. This is what I want to get back to. While y'all assume that he fucked with white girls and that's all he did, he wanted to be a part of, the white supremacist system, as you say, by taking pictures with white girls and shit. Let me ask you, you pro-black people this. How many accountants do you just die and rush to hang out with? seriously, like we're not very welcoming of guys who have ambition in our race as far as the cool circles. Yeah, and anyone, they can get as mad as they want about it. When I say some shit like that, they can say it's an excuse. But what the fuck? Like, you treat these guys bad, and then you penalize them for having to treat them bad because you see pictures like this. Hell, when I was at camp years ago, being a camp counselor, yeah, I was in a picture with some white girls. That doesn't mean I wanted to boink them and have them in loving relationships where I wanted to assimilate to white culture. The whole point of me even saying this is because we make the wrong bullshit important. The important thing is that a white supremacist system and its minions took another black man down that presented absolutely zero threat. But, we love to focus on bullshit. You know how that is. Yep, being in a place where she deserves. Now, let me show you one more thing before I go. See that young lady right there? That's Botham Jean's actual girlfriend. Look at her. Doesn't look like a quote unquote Becky to me. Seek justice, people. Seek justice. Think about what's important. Think about the fragility of life. Because Botham Jean can't go any further. All right. Now, I'm going to end this. Here's to hoping that we, as a community, get that murder conviction out of Amber Guyger. She sure as hell deserves it. She knew goddamn well that wasn't her apartment. A trained police officer. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let me show you this last thing I told you. Let me show you this these statements, how similar they were. Coming from the guy, that the white guy, the lawyer, his name was Robert Rogers. Let me read this statement. I am not surprised that a grand jury came out with an indictment. There's an outpouring of vindictive emotion. Yeah, okay, let's explain vindictive emotion. Okay, you killed someone inside the comfort of their own home, and you're just upset and you just want revenge, that against this innocent citizen that was dressed as a police officer as he was trying to frame it. An outpouring of emotion that's been building up. There was a lot of, like, let's think about those two words for a second. That's role in how the DA handled this. Yes, I don't know what happened but I believe injected into this grand jury astray from just focusing on the evidence. Let me tell you what else used to have emotion play into it. When a white person, falsely a person, especially a white female, will falsely accuse a black man back in the Jim Crow era, Jim Crow, early Jim Crow, like the 1920s and 30s. Rosewood. Let's think about Rosewood for a second. Would falsely accuse a black man or a white man, points at the finger at a black man of a brazen crime. All the emotion comes out. Emotion has hundreds of white men with pitchforks, and sometimes white women too, pitchforks, torches, dragging that man out of the cell or dragging that man out of his home, Emmett Till, beating him, desecrating him, and eventually murdering him. Now, that's what I call emotion. But guys like Robert Rogers want you to forget that and think about the law this time. Take the emotion out of it. This emotional case, it shows that you can't even sit in the peace of your own apartment. Just like people back in the Jim Crow era could not even sit in the peace of their own homes and neighborhoods and cities. Now, let's see what Faith Johnson said, because he was saying that because Robert Rogers, who was saying in the DA's office, it was political pressure that factored into this. Now, Friday, okay, this is about District Attorney Faith out. In the news conference Friday, Johnson denied she had waited too long to see a migrant. Let's just go ahead and say some names. Okay, Faith Johnson and Renee Hall. Yes, we say that, that, and some guys out there, that women are taking the lead in the black community. But why do these kinds of things happen every time y'all say, quote unquote, they're taking the lead? Look at Condoleezza Rice. Yeah, we do give her credit for intelligence, but what the fuck did she do for us? Seriously. And I'm not saying women can't lead, because women can lead. They can. It's just that I don't know sometimes. And here's what she said. I was not bowing down to any political pressure to try to do it. It was not justice. Justice was to do it when we did it. Basically saying that, okay, since Amber Guyger was a police officer, it was justice to make sure that you did a very extreme and thorough investigation to make sure that, the right charge was brought up for her. Yes, the kind of justice that for some reason she's able to make a $300,000 bond on the manslaughter charge as soon as she turned herself in to get its bond, and a 200,000 bond on the murder charge, which was $100,000 less, unless I'm mistaken and got the numbers switched up. And she made bond immediately after that. It's like, damn, she's rich as fuck. Either that or she has some kind of support coming from somewhere that is her heart, somewhere that their heart is just as black as hers. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of shit I be talking about in this damn country. And I'm just bracing myself for her to get off. I'm already doing it. I'm already prepared to be disappointed, even though I know what I want, and I know what a lot of people are advocating for. They want her ass up the river. I want her ass up the river for shooting and killing that young man in his own apartment. They say she stayed a floor right below. Now, don't act like every time a white person and a black person stays in the same vicinity that it's just going to be racial harmony. I'm sure black people across the country have stories about being in white neighborhoods and not feeling the love. Hell, I saw a video the other day of a man pulling in his driveway, and the cop just do this, do that, just bugging him. And the man is trying to explain himself, and the woman beside him was trying to explain herself too. But you're on this man's property messing with him. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 8 vehicles pull up, and then they just tackle the man. Now, you tell me if that's like out of courage for against a black man or fear for the black man. I'm saying this is that super predator. And I guess when Botham John didn't quote unquote comply, which I think was bull because, like I said, witnesses on the scene said that they heard knocking, let me in, let me in. The door wasn't cracked. They had a video of a neighbor even like, they're saying the keys are electronic. So you can't pick the lock. The keys are programmed to work with each door. So, but I guess that was a story before. She said the door was slightly ajar. And I would love to see that toxicology report. But, they protect their own. And unfortunately, it seemed to me like Chief U. Renee Hall, Faith Johnson, and the Dallas Police Department were just protecting their own. Because how disrespectful it was to do a search warrant on his apartment on the day of his funeral. I hope the bitch goes down. But like I said, we're going to have to brace for maybe a not guilty verdict. Because that's how this system works. This system of, let's just go and say it, white supremacy. Sad. Sad. Well, all right. That's for me for right now. Just wanted to give y'all an update since I have several more videos on this. I think it's fair to stick with this story because it is indeed a very interesting one. And like many others out there, I want to see justice for this young man. His life was cut short, and all the bitch had to do was look around. Seriously. Look around and see that it wasn't her fucking apartment. It's safe to say that Dallas police officers have no fucking eye training. They can't see shit. I could say a million things about this. I really could. It's piss poor and it's sad. So tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Do you think that Amber Guyger's gonna get a murder charge? I mean, she got the murder charge. Like that shit a murder. Oh, okay. I see some comments. Hey, greetings. She won't be found guilty. I really hope not. And Water Sniper, she had no business in there in the first place, which is correct. Correct. Like I said, eye training. Eye training. Cops are supposed to do various training, and it just doesn't seem like that's happening. And like I said, that's sad. So we will all sit back and watch and see how this develops. Okay, guys. That's like I said, that's it for now. And at the beginning of these videos, I say please subscribe if you haven't. Hit like or that's your freedom. All right, y'all have a great weekend living.